What does Aquaman eat at a seafood restaurant? Find out these answers and more as we discuss Aquaman the Trench. Welcome to the Oblivion Bar, a safe haven for all DC comic fans. I'm your host, Khalil Hill, and today it is nice, it is sunny because it's the summer in July, so we are bringing you guys Aquaman Volume 1, The Trench, written by Jeff Johns and Ivan Reis. So, guys, what did you think of this book so far?
Man, I gotta give that 2 thumbs up. I don't have a lot of experience with Aquaman, but as I was getting into it, my expectations were kind of low because I was like, it's Aquaman, he talks to fish. Nope, he does a lot more than talk to fish. This book, literally, I was sucked in page 2. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. This was the first thing I'd ever read with Aquaman in it, and I picked it up like, Geoff Johns wrote it, it'll probably be okay. And I was probably 1 page in, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Aquaman's awesome.
So I would say I definitely fell into the category of people that, thought Aquaman was kind of lower tier hero. Like, I hate to admit it, especially after reading this book, because, again, like both of you all, I got sucked in immediately and just like, Aquaman, he's not playing around. He's the real deal. He's so much more than just a fish talker. And
so good. So good.
And yeah, so two fins up, if you will.
Wow. I love it. No, I'm a huge Jeff Johns fan, and this run that he does on Aquaman is always getting praise. And I might be one of the few people that have always respected the character of Aquaman just because his power set should not be slept on. He's the king of the ocean. Like, he technically rules most of the world. So, and you can't do that and be a chump. So
that's valid. I hadn't thought of it that way. That's pretty fair.
Exactly. This book has some beautiful art in it, too. So, guys, what was your favorite panel in this book, Joe?
The one that I liked the most probably mixed more with the story and the art. Just because of the whole situation of it. But when Mera walks into that convenience store to get dog food for Aquapup or whatever you want to call him, this dude is coming over and he's mega creepy, super like, as soon as you read one panel about him, you're like, yeah, he's perp, he's gross, he's disgusting, he needs to get slapped. Well, Mera did that plus some because he comes over and he's being extra creepy and he's touching her. She's like, you need to stop. And he doesn't stop. So she's just like, all right, crack, snaps his arm in half. And he's like, why would you do that? She goes, could have done worse. What else did you want me to do? You didn't do what I told you to do. I was like,
he was the real dog.
No.
What was your favorite panel, Robbie?
So my favorite panel was there was the panel with the flashback to Aquaman's young childhood, where it's him and his dad's standing on the dock, and they have the really beautiful watercolor splash to it. And I think that works great on a couple different levels. One, since it's a flashback, you have a different art style. I think that worked out excellently. And the fact that, the blending of the colors, he had the tear going down his face, it just added to the sentimental value, I think, of the entire scene. And I don't know, I just thought it was very powerful.
Cool. For sure. I really loved when the first time you see the trench in all its glory, it's a full splash page. Yeah. You see Mera and Aquaman, they're like this big, and they're just surrounded by all these monsters, and you're like, how are they going to get out of this one?
Well, they're toast.
Yo, they brought that scene to life perfectly in the Aquaman movie. Okay, no spoilers. But you gotta watch it because literally it is terrifying watching the trench just swimming after Aquaman and Mera. My favorite panel, even though I like the art throughout the book, and this wasn't my favorite panel.
The art was phenomenal overall. Like, grade A, I would have to say art.
Yeah, but my favorite panel was the diner scene where Aquaman goes to a seafood restaurant and everybody just freezes and they're like, is that Aquaman? What's he doing here eating? Is he going to order fish?
My favorite part of that scene was where that dude was like, isn't that cannibalism? He's like, no.
I'm not a fish. I don't talk to fish. But just speaking of delicious fish, what did you bring us to drink tonight?
Well, I actually brought this beer based on a recommendation by our producer, Justin. So thank you, Justin, for your great idea. SweetWater is originally started off as a pipe dream from two college buddies, but now it is a huge brewery that's been known from Atlanta, Georgia, and its hometown, all the way up to Lexington, Kentucky, and beyond. This beer is very originally, named IPA, as it is an IPA with 50 IBUs and an ABV is 6.3%. Tasting notes are mostly hops mixed with citrus and has a very floral aroma as well. I think this is a very easy beer to drink. It's crisp, it's good, but it is mainstream for me. It's nothing huge. It's not crazy. This is a regular IPA.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's not, I'm not blown away by anything about it, but I don't think that's its purpose. It's, I think, a great beer for you get a 6-pack and you chill up by the pool with it, and it's something you can drink all day. It's refreshing.
100%, yes.
Sure.
It's again not something that I'm going to be like seeking out like for a really nice dinner or anything like that, but I think it's perfect for, you're in the lazy river, whatever, doing it is what you do at the water, and you're sipping on a nice IPA.
This would be really good for a lazy river. That would be perfect.
I DK about IBVs or ABUs, but what I do know is that this IPA is A-okay.
Oh, man.
I'm done. All right. Overall, I would probably have to give this probably a 6 out of 10 tridents.
Oh, 6 flashy tridents.
6 flashy tridents.
All right, what about you, Robbie?
I would have to give it a 7 out of 10 tridents, and we can go into my, way I rate these, but a lot of it has to do with the repeat drinkability of this beer. Again, it's something that I can drink on all day, and for that, I definitely respect it, and that deserves a high rating in my book.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to give it a 6.8 tridents. I like it. You guys should probably buy it. Let's go for it.
The shameless plug from Ethan. Okay, guys. So, back to the story. Early in the book, we see that the public sees Aquaman as a joke. A huge joke. Now, how did your opinions of Aquaman change throughout reading this book? Ethan.
Man, yeah. I know we already kind of covered this, but complete 180. I just thought Aquaman was kind of there. He was like, if we need to do something underwater, we'll call Aquaman up, see if maybe he can send some fish to help us or whatever. But this book really, really, one, makes him seem like a huge badass, and two, it really handles the dichotomy of his character well, where he's both from the land and from the sea, and he tries to help both of his people, but neither really respect him or want his help. And I think that really adds a lot of nuance to his character.
Funny that you mentioned, when he goes to, if we have issues in the water, we'll call up Aquaman. Even when the issues did call, for someone to be underwater, they didn't even really want Aquaman to be involved. I was shocked. I was like, do y'all not know who this man is? He's the king of the ocean.
I'm with Ethan. I did a 180. My 180 was probably about as fast as those robbers in the beginning of the book, where they were like, I'm gonna just run over his ass. And he goes, you could try, stabs the front of the engine, flips it over, they're crawling out, they're like,
a literal 180.
and they're just like, shoot him, and he's just like, I don't do anything, dude. Smash. That, it was awesome.
Yeah. I did like how he got super, super pissed off when something did, I guess a bullet grazed him just enough to make him bleed a little bit. Which I thought Jeff Johns did a masterful job of writing that and showing us that, yes, he has more durability than any human being, but it's not like the super invulnerability like Superman, you know, but he still is a heavy hitter.
I don't know. I again always thought of him as just like the fish talker or whatever, and didn't really think of him as, an A-list hero. And this book shows that that's total bullshit sentiment.
Yeah. No, his power set is awesome. Yes, he has super strength, super durability, can breathe underwater. He doesn't even talk to fish. He has this super telekinetic ability that allows him to command them and control them. And, dolphins are a little more complicated.
They're smarter.
Yeah, and they're mammals, which also means that he doesn't just command fish. I mean, it's aquatic life, essentially. But
another valid point that you have.
Exactly.
Think you can get rid of my crabs?
Moving on. So Aquaman does talk to aquatic life, but he had some difficulty talking to the not so much villains in this story, but the monsters that come up out of the water.
The mob.
The mob. So yeah, this story doesn't have a specific supervillain, but we are introduced to the Trench, who are these underwater monsters that are just terrifying. What did you guys think of the Trench, Robbie?
Freaking super scary. I mean, initially in the first couple of panels, you see they're horrific piranha monster creatures, and they can't be reasoned with. They are here to eat and feast on flesh because they're they have run out of food wherever they come from, and they're just gonna rip people limb from limb. It's terrifying.
Just first of all, the art around themselves. I'm sitting over here when I'm looking at the book, the faces on the back, and it's just those teeth, those eyes. They're terrifying. The detail is so pristine and clear, and you're just like, oh, you're real. That was grade A villain group to choose.
Yeah, I think what makes them even more scary than just how they look is when you get a vision into their mind, you hear their thoughts, and it's just hunger. They're just looking to eat. There's no reasoning with them. There's no higher functioning.
I would just be terrified if I ever came across one of these. Or, well, you're not gonna come across one. You're gonna come across like a whole just gang of them. They're just gonna run up on you. But yeah, the fact that all they cared about, like you said, was food, and Aquaman not really being able to communicate with them at all, and then on top of that, they could pierce him and his armor, and I was like, oh crap, what's going on?
Say, that means a lot considering he was just shrugging off bullets in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, clearly very formidable, like, primal enemy.
Yeah, but no, these dudes, they were straight thugs. They just ran up on these land dwellers.
They
swam up on them. They like, we climbing in your windows. We snatching your people up. We gonna eat them. So you need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your dog's owners, because we're gonna eat all of them too.
Poor Aquapup.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, I think she was like the only one that died, right? Because everyone else kind of got rescued in the end.
I mean, there was the whole ship.
Yeah, the whole ship.
Oh, and then there's the whole ship.
That whole ship got obliterated.
Yeah, but none of them left behind a dog.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I'll say you don't.
It wasn't important enough because they didn't make it into the book. But yeah, poor Aquapup. But hey, he gets to live with a superhero now. So that's awesome.
Who snaps creepy people's arms.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Aquapup, we actually get a fun part of the story where Mera goes into town to buy Aquapup dog food.
Aquapup brand's dog food.
Aquapup brand.
It's not actually Aquapup brand. Just putting it out there now.
But whoever comes up with that idea will probably make a lot of money if they come up with Aquapup brand food.
What did you guys think of Mera hitting the town a bit? What were your thoughts on that whole scene, Ethan?
Might have been my favorite part of the whole book. Not to belittle the rest of the book, but like, Mera is such a good, strong character, and just, it's a literal fish out of water story. It's just so good. It's so funny on so many levels.
Because she's coming from a completely different culture. And so she's like, well, if you're creepy, like, I can snap your arm, it's fine. And then all these cops roll up. She's like, I mean, I'll just whip all y'all's asses. And it's like, let's go. And Aquaman, if Aquaman had been there, he'd probably be like, please stop. Please stop.
Yeah. No, Mera just kept it real. She kept it 100 all the time. Like, the whole time she's trying to, help Aquaman through any issues, or she's fighting by his side, or they're trying to figure out what to do with the trench. She was just, I loved how she speaks her mind. And she doesn't just speak her mind, she lives her mind. Like, she'll freaking water bend your life away if she needs to.
That's another reason why I love her too, is that she's essentially a waterbender.
But she's cooler than a waterbender.
Yeah, she does a lot more than just a waterbender, but I absolutely love the Avatar series, and you know, waterbending will always have a special place in my heart, and that's essentially like her core
eyes
power.
Turn blue.
Yes. Yeah. No, the craziest thing she did for me was when she basically, the guy that's holding his daughter at gunpoint, when she's just like, oh yeah, you're experiencing dehydration because I'm taking all the water out of your body. Right now, you've gone 3 days without water at this point, and you're probably going to start hallucinating. Oh, another week without water? Like, I was just like, this is bad. That was insane. But in the end, we actually, going back to Aquaman and Mera handling the trench, we actually see that Aquaman is kind of in a tight spot trying to figure out just how to handle this situation. How do you guys feel about how Aquaman handled the trench in the end?
I thought he did the best he could, and I thought he handled it. You know, he had a plan A, he had a plan B, all the way down to a plan Z if he needed to, and he worked them in order.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's, as we've talked about already, like, there's just no reasoning with them. They had just a primal urge to eat. Like, they needed to survive. And, you know, they had the hive mind mentality, and they were just going to continue to try and find food. So, I mean, it was either, hey, I have to stop this now, or it's going to cause a huge mess to society everywhere.
But at the beginning, he was just like, once he found out that they were an endangered species, he really felt for them and was just like, we're not going to, you know, just kill them off. You know, he wanted to help them, while Mera, on the other hand, is just like, bruh, we need to end this. Like, it's a wrap. Like, they're just going to try to kill all of us.
We're done. It's fine.
But in the end, when he literally dropped what did he drop on them to seal up the place?
Big old rock.
Yeah,
a monster rock.
A mountain-sized rock on their whole civilization and their queen and all that stuff. I will say I was pretty grossed out by the inbred babies that they had. That freaked me out.
I mean, if you look at the environment, though, that's actually not that wild.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at bees and stuff, they got a queen. That's how they work. Like, that's actually pretty normal.
Yeah. Well, that is gonna just about wrap up our show for today. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Bar Oblivion. And if you like what we're talking about here, you want to catch us every week, give us a little thumbs up, leave a comment. Also, hit the subscribe button and that little bell so you can know whenever we post videos. Question of the week. If fish could talk, what would they say? Leave your answers in the comments below, and we will catch you guys next time at the Oblivion Bar.
A large fresh orange juice, please.